Okay, so let's talk about 6 steps that employers need to take. I think, first of all, very important that you have a TCGA governance committee. And this committee needs to be comprised of payroll, human resources, tax, and finance. Because as you see, a lot of these changes overlap into different areas of the company. Those that are worried about the business deductions, and then how will that change company policy, and how does that affect payroll and system configuration settings. And these decisions need to be made together. Don't tell payroll 2 months after you made the decision. So that's very important. Number 2, be very vigilant in monitoring federal, state, and local developments. This is, I know at EY, for our employment tax services customers, we do provide a newsflash service, keeping them involved with those changes, but you do need to know how are you going to be monitoring that, because the state activity will be over the charts. On the third step, consider how compliance with the gathering of state withholding allowance certificates will be achieved in the event state requirements are changed. So again, having a platform such as CIC Plus, where you're in an automated environment, is certainly a big help. But on the other hand, also just knowing the rule changes and how you're monitoring for them as well. Step 4, closely review your payroll system tax configurations. I mean, even before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, I have to tell you, we review this through our service taxability, and we find so many exceptions, particularly in the state unemployment insurance area. But now with state changes occurring due to the new tax law, knowing how you're going to do that and being sure you do it this year for sure is really important. Number 5, develop an employee communication plan. And again, not just for federal, but also for state and local changes. I want to reiterate here, because a lot of you have asked, you are not required to collect a new W-4 from your employees for 2018. You're not required to tell them about the tax changes. So we're only suggesting that you advise them to check their withholding. And there is a withholding calculator on an IRS website that your employees can go to. Number 7, evaluate if current payroll and human resources staffing is sufficient. And we saw in that polling question, it was something like 80%, right, John? Over 80% of you said this has increased your workload. So, get involved in that TCGA governance committee and show them how you need additional staff in your payroll department, because there's a lot of work to be done. 6th step, identify employees who are claiming personal allowance on the Form W-4 and remind them to check their withholding. Again, not required, but there are going to be a lot of folks that aren't catching on to what's happening here in 2018, and if they wind up under withhold, they're going to be, coming to you at the end of the year. So you want to save yourself some headache by getting the word out to employees.